All right, listener, ready to dive deep into Proust today
Right.
with excerpts you picked from À l'ombre des jeunes filles en fleurs,
Oh, absolutely.
specifically Part 3.
Great choice.
Get ready for sun-drenched beaches, a captivating group of young women,
Sounds lovely.
and a narrator who's completely smitten with their allure.
Yeah.
It's a coming-of-age story filled with longing and shifting perceptions and all those complexities of love.
Classic Proust.
What I find so fascinating about this section
Yeah.
is how Proust captures that intensity of youthful desire
Mm-hmm.
and the narrator's evolving understanding of love.
Yeah, it's not just a love story.
Right.
It's a journey of self-discovery, too.
Okay, so let's set the scene.
Okay.
We open with the narrator on the boardwalk at Bulbeck,
All right.
completely captivated by this group of young women that he nicknames a la petite bande,
The little band.
a little band.
Yeah.
And they just exude this youthful energy,
Right.
almost oblivious to everyone else as they stroll along the boardwalk.
Proust beautifully illustrates their carefree spirit. Yeah. Through that scene where one of the girls, André, playfully jumps over an elderly gentleman, it's a seemingly insignificant act.
Right.
Yet it speaks volumes about their youthful exuberance.
It does.
But there's also this hint of shyness,
Yeah.
particularly from a girl with striking green eyes,
Oh.
which adds another layer to their dynamic.
And that fleeting glimpse sparks an intense curiosity in the narrator,
Of course.
especially towards this girl named Simonet.
Mm-hmm.
He becomes consumed with this desire to meet her,
Right.
even going so far as to consult the local directory.
Wow.
You have to admire his determination, right?
It speaks to the power of first impressions
Yeah.
and how our imaginations can run wild
Yeah,
when we're captivated by someone.
definitely.
It's that initial spark of attraction
Mhm.
that sets the stage for the narrator's journey
Right.
of longing and shifting perceptions.
So to infiltrate this alluring circle,
Okay.
the narrator enlists the help of his friend, Robert de Saint-Loup, an army officer.
Uh-huh.
Now, you'd think an army officer would be a master strategist when it comes to social situations.
Well, not necessarily in Proust.
But in typical Proust fashion, things are never that simple.
Exactly.
So Saint-Loup is currently entangled with an actress,
Oh.
which kind of dampens his enthusiasm for helping his friend.
It's ironic,
It is.
considering his reputation as quite the ladies' man before this infatuation.
Oh, yeah.
It's as if his current love has blinded him to the allure of other possibilities.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting parallel to
Well-
the narrator's own fluctuating desires throughout the story.
Yeah, it's like that saying love is blind.
Exactly.
But eventually they do manage to spend some evenings together
Okay.
at the lively Rivebelle restaurant.
Right.
And Proust's description of the scene is just incredibly vivid.
Yeah, it's amazing.
The energy of the gypsy music,
Right.
the waiters rushing about like planets in orbit.
It's so cinematic.
I can practically hear the music and feel that energy.
And amidst this vibrant atmosphere,
Yeah.
the narrator sits observing everything with heightened senses.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost as if the lively surroundings amplify his longing
Yeah.
and make him even more eager to connect with La Petite Bande.
But here's where it gets interesting.
Okay.
The narrator's fascination with La Petite Bande
Yeah.
begins to wane a bit under the influence of, let's just say, certain refreshments at Rivebelle.
I see.
It's this moment of clarity where he realizes how fleeting obsessions can be.
Right, especially those fueled by external factors.
Almost like a what was I thinking moment.
Exactly.
But this shift doesn't last forever, does it?
No, it doesn't. No,
Okay.
it doesn't. As the narrator spends more time with La Petite Bande,
Yeah.
we really start to see Proust's mastery in revealing those subtle dynamics within relationships.
Right.
He becomes acutely aware of the interplay between the girls,
Yeah.
particularly Albertine's jealousy and possessiveness. It's like watching a delicate dance unfold, with each step revealing something new about their characters.
That's what I love about Proust.
Yeah.
How he unveils those tiny, almost invisible moments that speak volumes about human nature.
Absolutely.
Can you give us an example of how Albertine's jealousy plays out?
There's this scene where the narrator is walking with Albertine and her friend Giselle, who has this striking golden hair.
Oh.
And he's immediately drawn to Giselle, finding her much friendlier than
Yeah.
Albertine. And he longs to have a moment alone with her.
Oh, I bet he does.
Yeah.
But knowing Albertine, I doubt she makes it easy for him.
You're absolutely right.
It sounds like a recipe for drama.
Albertine, perhaps sensing the narrator's interest in Giselle, strategically positions herself between them, preventing any private conversation. She controls the flow of the interaction, keeping Giselle at bay with a series of increasingly curt responses.
It sounds like she's playing a game of chess.
Exactly.
Subtly manipulating the situation to keep the narrator's attention on her.
And eventually, unable to tolerate Albertine's coldness, Giselle gives up and leaves.
Oh.
It's a subtle but powerful demonstration of Albertine's possessiveness.
Right.
Even though her relationship with the narrator is still undefined, it makes you wonder if her jealousy stems from insecurity or a desire for control.
It's like she's trying to assert her claim on him, even though they're not officially together.
Exactly.
So does the narrator confront Albertine about her behavior?
He does, but she brushes it off, claiming Giselle was being clingy and nosy. Her dismissive attitude only deepens the narrator's fascination.
Of course.
Playing right into that classic push-and-pull dynamic.
It's that age-old dilemma. The more unavailable someone is, the more desirable they seem.
Exactly.
It makes you question the nature of his attraction.
Yeah.
Is it genuine affection for Albertine? Or is it fueled by the challenge of winning her over?
That's the brilliance of Proust.
Yeah.
He leaves these questions open, inviting us to ponder the complexities of human desire.
Is it love, or is it the thrill of the chase?
Exactly.
And speaking of complex characters, where does André fit into all of this?
Oh, André.
She seems to be much more perceptive and emotionally intelligent than the others.
André is a fascinating character indeed. While she appears kind and empathetic on the surface, there's a subtle ambiguity to her role in the group.
Yeah.
Remember how she lied about not being able to see the narrator?
Oh, yes.
Because she had to stay home with her sick mother?
And later we learned she actually went on a picnic.
Exactly.
Not very nice of her.
It makes you wonder what her true motivations are.
It does. Could she have feelings for the narrator herself?
It's certainly a possibility.
Okay.
Proust never explicitly states her motivations, which adds to the intrigue.
Right.
But there's definitely a sense that she enjoys having a certain level of control over the situation.
Okay.
Playing the role of the observant confidant while subtly influencing the dynamics within the group.
It sounds like these young women are quite a handful.
They are.
The narrator has his work cut out for him.
He does.
Trying to decipher their personalities.
Right.
And navigate their complex relationships.
And it's through this process that he starts to realize his own feelings are just as complicated. He becomes increasingly obsessed with deciphering their personalities, comparing himself to a birdwatcher, carefully attuned to the unique melodies of each girl's voice.
Wow.
And as he observes their interactions,
Yeah.
he begins to notice those subtle shifts in his own desires.
Ah, so his perspective is evolving as well.
Precisely.
This is where the coming-of-age element really comes into play.
Yes.
He's not just trying to understand these women.
Right.
He's trying to understand himself.
He finds himself constantly reassessing his attraction to each girl, questioning whether his desire is based on physical attraction, social standing, or something deeper. And this internal struggle, this constant questioning, is at the heart of his emotional development.
It's so relatable, isn't it?
It is.
That feeling of being pulled in different directions, trying to figure out who you are and what you truly want.
Absolutely.
Proust really captures the confusion and excitement of that stage of life.
He does. And as we delve deeper into this section of the novel, we see the narrator's journey take an unexpected turn, leading him to a profound realization about the nature of love and his own evolving desires. About the nature of love and his own evolving desires. So we've seen the narrator grappling with his feelings for these women, trying to figure out what he wants.
What happens next? Does he finally make a decision?
Well, it's not so much a conscious decision as it is like a gradual shift in his perspective. There's this pivotal scene where the girls are playing a game of Diablo. You know, those spinning tops?
I know what you mean.
And the narrator is so intently focused on Albertine, hoping to catch her eye and maybe even elicit a sign of affection.
Oh, so he's still trying to decipher her feelings, even after all the drama with Giselle. It's like he can't help himself.
Exactly. But then in a moment of frustration, Albertine snaps at him for not paying attention to the game.
Oh, no.
It's a small gesture. but it's significant.
Right.
It just shatters the illusion he's so carefully constructed around her.
Oh.
The perfect Albertine, the object of his desire, suddenly becomes flawed and human.
So the pedestal starts to crumble.
Yeah.
He's seeing her clearly for the first time, flaws and all. How does he handle that?
It leads to this profound disillusionment.
Right.
The narrator realizes that Albertine might not be the girl that he imagined her to be. He sees her pettiness, her capacity for unkindness, and it disrupts the fantasy that he's built around her.
It's almost as if he's waking up from a dream. And as his idealized image of Albertine fades, does his attraction to her fade as well?
Precisely. He starts to observe her with a more critical eye, noticing the envy she elicits from others, and the subtle ways she manipulates social situations. This new perspective allows him to see the complexities of the social dynamics within La Petite Bande, particularly those unspoken rules and hierarchies that govern their interactions.
It's like he's finally seeing the whole picture, not just that romanticized version he created in his mind. It must be both liberating and disappointing at the same time.
Absolutely. It's a bittersweet realization. But with this newfound clarity, his attention starts to shift, surprisingly, towards the more familiar and less mysterious André.
Wait, what? The girl that he initially dismissed as too intellectual and similar to himself suddenly becomes appealing. It's quite a twist.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it speaks to that unpredictable nature of desire. As the narrator lets go of his idealized image of Albertine, he becomes open to other possibilities. He begins to appreciate André's intelligence, her wit, and her genuine kindness qualities that he may have overlooked before.
So perhaps true love isn't about pursuing the unattainable, but finding connection and understanding in the familiar. It's a beautiful thought.
It is.
And it makes you wonder what happens next. Does the narrator pursue André?
Proust leaves us with that question lingering in the air. And I think that's the beauty of it. He invites us to ponder the possibilities, to imagine the narrator's next move. Will he follow his newfound feelings for André? Or will his heart lead him down yet another unexpected path? We're left to contemplate those complexities of love and that ever-evolving nature of human connection.
So there you have it, listener. We've taken a deep dive into the emotional landscape of À l'ombre de jeune fille en fleur.
We have.
Exploring those themes of longing, disillusionment, and the ever-shifting nature of desire.
Exactly.
It's a story that reminds us that growth often comes from unexpected places. And that true self-discovery is a journey, not a destination.
And if this glimpse into Proust's world has left you wanting more, I highly encourage you to delve into the full novel. It's a rich and rewarding experience that will stay with you long after you turn that final page.
Absolutely.
You might even discover something new about yourself along the way.
Thank you for joining us today, listener. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of Marcel Proust.
It's always a pleasure.